EDX uses the same interfaces as the ECP endpoint, so the AMQP, web service, and the FSSF channel, but there are also another two integration channels. One is the Kafka, which is similar to AMQP. However, we are using the topics instead of queues there. And then there's FTP channel or SFTP channel. So you can use a remote storage for sending and receiving files. Information about integration channels for EDX Toolbox is described in the EDX user guide. Let's take a look quickly on this one. So there is no public interface guide as in the case of the endpoint. And it is in the chapter 5, integration channels. The configuration is done via the YAML file, via edx.yaml. So let's take a look at how the edx.yaml look like for our toolboxes. I've already downloaded some configuration from Toolbox. So, yeah. You can see that in the bar integration channels, we have defined all the available endpoints. So we are able to use the AMQP integration. And you can see that for incoming messages, we will use this EDX endpoint inbox AMQP queue. When we are interested in the message type, which is used for this AMQP inbox queue, then we need to take a look to the routing section, which is below, and you can see that message type AMQP minus EDX will be automatically stored to this AMQP inbox queue. And then besides this AMQP definition, which is for both incoming and outgoing files, but just be aware that direction in is for outgoing files and direction out is for incoming files. So you can see it is like in the opposite from the ECP endpoint. So it could be a bit tricky. So direction out is for the incoming files. As you can see, it is named the inbox. For the Kafka endpoint, you can see there is some definition of the Kafka server and name of the topics. Again, there are two directions: in for outgoing files, outbox, out for incoming files. Same as for the endpoint, you can define the FSSF channel for integration via the file system. So you can see this. You can see that this in this example we are storing files to the FSSF inbox folder and sending files from the outbox folder. Again, when we are interested what route is or what message type is used. For instance, for this incoming messages, we can take a look to the routing section. And you can see that the message type is FSSF EDX. So the FSSF EDX will be stored to this folder. Then there's FTP endpoint configuration, which is for the remote server. So you can see that in our example, we have some connection to the FTP server, and you can receive or send the files via the FTP channel. Yeah. Of course, you need to define some credentials, and again, there's outbox and inbox configuration for the FTP. So this is regarding the integration channels. If you don't want to use for instance, the Kafka, you can just comment it out. Okay. Okay, let's move. You have also possibility to do some validation, transformation, and external processing, but in this case, we are not using anything from these features, and the routes were already covered. It defines like which message types should be processed to which endpoint. Like FSSF EDX should be sent to FSSF inbox from the toolbox. So this is for instance for the incoming files, and the same will be for the outgoing files. So this is routing rules. So the configuration consists of the endpoints definition and route definition, which defines which messages should be sent to which endpoint. And there's also some definition for default queue for sending and receiving the messages. So by default, you can see that all the received messages are forwarded to ECB endpoint, which stands for web service. So all messages which are not covered by these rules are forwarded to the web service of the toolbox. Okay, now let's try to test some interface. So for instance, we can start with the toolbox. As I mentioned, information about interfaces are in the user guide. So if I will search for WSDL definition, you can see that definition is again available on the toolbox itself, and the URL is a bit different, /ws/met in the interface. We have already defined this in the SOAP UI, so we can go directly to testing the messaging feature, for instance. So I can try to send a message to Marilyn. Again, you can see that there is security header. This is the same as for the ECB endpoint. This security header is available in the documentation in the administration guide, so you can copy it to there. Yeah, so you see that receiver code is Marilyn, business type is WS-EDX. Again, I need to attach some content which is already there in the attachments. This center application is optional, but I can fill it. It's ENTSO-E. This application message ID again is optional, but I will fill in this business application one. Correlation ID and conversation ID needs to be unique, so I will increment this one. And let's try to send the message via the web service to the second toolbox. Did something happen? Okay, sent. And now I can go to Marilyn to check whether there is some message to be received. So you can see that the interface is the same as for the ECB endpoint. So again, I will define the business type and that I want to download the message. I will try to download this. 0, what happened? PS-EDX, was it sent? To Marilyn. I'm on the endpoint, okay. I need to go to toolbox, sorry. Okay, you can see there is some message with attachment again. And okay, there are even two messages, so I can confirm processing of this message. So again, I need to go to this confirm message method. message ID, and confirm. And then there it should be one more message to process. Yeah, you can see different ID. Now the remaining count is 0. So I have already the content downloaded. So let's mark this as as received. Okay, and done. And now there shouldn't be any message. Yeah, zero remaining messages. So this is EDX for Web Service API for EDX Toolbox. I will quickly demonstrate to the FTP. So I can try to send, because FSSF is exactly the same as for the ECP endpoint, so I will show you the FTP. It is in the, I think, it's FTP, no, FTP data, and Nemo, and I have prepared some message. Again, you can see that the format is in the FSSF standard, some content, and when I will put it to the outbox folder, this is outbox folder of the of the FTP. This is not SFTP, this is FTP. So I will put it there. It should be processed shortly. Done. Okay, it was processed. And let's take a look if it was accepted to the Maryland FTP. Yeah, it's there. Again, file system format was used for this. So we have successfully sent a message via the FTP channel. Okay, and maybe the last thing is to demonstrate you EDX toolbox. So, okay, I can close this one. This is for ECP. This is also ECP. This is also ECP, and I have this one, where I will send some message to the Maryland. I will use this outbox queue, which is defined by the routing configuration. So send. Message was sent. Now it should be visible in the Maryland on via the how tile. So let's verify this one. So it's Maryland toolbox and the how tile. So there. 3 to 3. Let's check the outbox of the toolbox. Toolbox messages. Oh, I sent it from the wrong one. Is this for
issue? It's probably rejected by toolbox for some reason.
Okay, let's check. Maybe I have some incorrect format for outbox name. MQB Maryland. EDX endpoint.outbox minus MQP. Should be like this, right? We want to verify whether the URL is correct.
This should be
Should be okay. Then what would be a Play Store?
try to send it again.
Yeah, that's right. Message was sent. Message was sent and it goes to the now.
I think just this one.
Should be Nemo, Toolbox, Outbox. Okay. Okay, let's check the routing configuration. The toolbox. So for outgoing, this is default. Maybe this one should be used. This.
No, this could be, but the tool itself has its own logs.
Yeah. Okay.
Check that.
Yeah. Good point.
Maybe the message was sent from the tool, but there's some other issue.
Okay. Let's take a look at the log. What is there? Alias ECP out module.
Module out.
Typo. Okay, sorry for that. Manual mistake. This even. So it is ECP out. Of course.
No, it's module out. It was.
There was typo.
There was maybe some other exception.
Okay, let's see. ECP
Scroll down.
Failed to connect to remote. Is this time MQP EDX? 312 should be Nemo. All right. Okay.
Yeah, I will try to send it from my computer.
Okay, please do so. Possible. Okay.
It seems to be working.
Okay,
So, oh, you forgot message type.
no way. Okay.
Yeah, this document.
Okay, sorry.
EDX, yeah.
Yeah, of course, the message type is mandatory. In this tool, we don't have it like there is no exception return to the user, so you need to take care of it. So let's try it again. Message was sent. Let's show the GUI now. Okay, it is on the Merlin side, and let's try to receive it by the Merlin. So I will just invoke another instance of this toolbox. Okay, I can just use the same PA password. Merlin. Password key aliases. ECP module out. Okay, I will copy this one for my notes. The URL for Merlin is this one. And the queue name will be different. It will be for inbox. It is defined in the routing configuration, so it should be EDX endpoint inbox minus.
Then you have to fill the receive message tab, not send message.
Yeah. And leave. Okay, we don't need to use any selector, and let's try to download it. Receive.
First they receive, I think.
Okay, it's there. You can see the content is test. And then we will receive again, okay, another message in the queue from my colleague, and on the third attempt, it should be empty. Okay, the message was received. So this is regarding the EDX. You can see it is pretty the same as for the ECP endpoint. And okay, I think we are done with this. And sorry for delay, we are a little bit behind the schedule. So I think that now there is a space for questions regarding these integration channels.